Hey, what's going on, guys? My name's Dynasty. What I got for y'all today is another Mortal Kombat X video. As a matter of fact, it's going to be a hashtag Dynasty Q&A. I think we're like on episode 11, so I love this series. You guys love it as well. And if you're new around here, you're like, Dynasty, what is this? Pretty much, it's where I answer questions asked to me on Twitter regarding like Mortal Kombat in general. From there, if like the question's good enough, I tend to answer it my best. So with that said, guys, let's answer some questions and let's get into it. And hey, if you ever want to take part in this, all you gotta do is ask me a question using the hashtag Dynasty Q&A. From there, you just never know, you might get featured on videos like this. So let's get into it. So our first question is coming from Alex Hopkins, and he asks, Dynasty, Johnny Cage is in WWE Immortals. Do you think they may put Kane or Jacob Goodnight from See No Evil inside of Mortal Kombat X? Hashtag Dynasty QnA. Now, this is a really cool trailer. If you guys missed it, they probably got it playing in the background. Yes, Johnny Cage can now fight John Cena, Roman Reigns, The Big Show, and a couple other WWE superstars in their mobile game, Immortals. This game was developed by NetherRealm Studios, which is why Johnny is in the game, so you have like little crossover there. But can I see Kane or Jacob Goodnight, the character that of course he plays in See No Evil, being inside Mortal Kombat X? I'm gonna say no. I still stand by what I said like on the last Q&A video. The same reason why you can't see superheroes inside Mortal Kombat X kind of applies to wrestlers. Now, it's like a PR nightmare already for WWE if they have blood on their TV. So could you imagine if they had a wrestler like Kane getting fatality'd? Yeah, it'd be a horrible PR standpoint. Little kids would see that and just lose their mind and start crying. Oh my god, why is Kane losing his arms? As for Jacob Goodnight from See No Evil, he is a pretty dark and twisted character, but I just don't think there's enough fan demand to see him. If there was a way to fit in a, a WWE character, it would be through that, obviously, because Jacob Goodnight is like a serial killer, if I'm not mistaken. So, I don't know. I mean, if the fan demand's there, which I don't think it is, this is the first time anyone's ever asked for this Jacob Goodnight character from See No Evil. I'd say yes, but considering there's not too much of a support for that, sucks to say this for you, man, but I don't think that's gonna happen. As for Kane, like I said, I just can't see a wrestler in this game. But you know what, man? Great question. Thank you so much for asking, and on to the next. Toad Plays Mortal Kombat says, Dynasty, I think the second shadow in the Combat Pack 2 image has a possibility for Sweet Tooth. Do you agree? Hashtag Dynasty Q&A. No, I do not agree. I think you're making this assumption based off the image that Boone tweeted out like a month or so ago. Probably this one. Check this out. Yes, this has to be it. He did tweet this out. He was joking when he tweeted it out. But you got an image of Baraka, Sweet Tooth, Master Chief, and of course Braicho. And I think the tweet was like, oh, interesting theory. And as much as this is like fantasy bucking how cool it'd be to have these characters like Master Chief and Sweet Tooth in this game, I don't think it'll ever happen, man. And you know what? I've seen a lot of demand for Sweet Tooth since this tweet. A lot of you guys keep asking, Dynasty, will he be DLC? I think it's pretty much safe to say it's not gonna happen, guys. For starters, you got Boone acknowledging this, and if this was gonna happen, I don't think he would have. Then you gotta look at the bigger picture. You got a company like Sony that hates Microsoft here, somehow allowing them to use this licensed character. Like, no, it's not gonna happen. I don't see Sony just being like, yeah, Microsoft, let's put our differences aside for the betterment of Mortal Kombat X to have Sweet Tooth in it. Like, no, it's not gonna happen. I can see him going through the all the trouble for like a bigger name character, maybe like Drake from Uncharted, maybe Master Chief. I can see them doing it for like a humongous character and kind of like paying under the table or something. But for a character like Sweet Tooth, who, yes, he's known, but he's not necessarily iconic, I can't see them going through the hassle of having to sign legal agreements and all this bullshit. So that's my stance on this question. I think it's pretty much safe to say Sweet Tooth won't be inside the Combat Pack 2. I could very well be wrong. I mean, we don't know officially, right? But all signs are indicating that's not going to be the case. Great question, Toad Plays. Hopefully it kind of clears the air of a lot of people who've been asking for Sweet Tooth lately. Anyways, like I said, great question. On to the next. Camille wants to know, Dynasty, what is your best and worst X-ray in Mortal Kombat X? I think this is pretty easy to answer really quick off the top of my head. I think my favorite is easily Cassie's. I mean, the way she just destroys her opponent's nuts is it's pretty crazy, like seeing the nuts explode. Let's change the subject. As for my least favorite X-ray in Mortal Kombat X, it's coming from my favorite character of all time. It's a Reptile. In my personal opinion, I think the X-ray he had back in Mortal Kombat 9 is a lot better than the one he has now. Like, don't get me wrong, it's pretty cool, like, in general, seeing how he grabs them by the back of their head and just tosses them to the ground and smashes their skull. It's really cool, but it's just not what I expected from him, especially considering I think he had one of the better ones back in Mortal Kombat 9. So, yeah, that's pretty much it. I think, if anything, I was really disappointed with Reptile's X-ray, so it's kind of just, nudges me there. Not probably the worst in the game, but in my opinion, just the most disappointing to see. So there you have it. My favorite would be Cassie's Nut Punch. Don't do it to me, Cassie. And my least favorite and my worst worse would be reptiles in this game? Great question, Camille, and on to the next. Michael wants to know, Dynasty, what do you think the chances are of another boss being put into Mortal Kombat X? Hashtag Dynasty QnA. Well, right now, it's, I don't know, because we only got one boss character that's playable. You got Goro, if you want to consider him a boss character. You got Corrupt Shinnok, but he's not playable unless you're using, like, an NPC mod on your PC. So, in reality, we just got one real boss in this game. I don't think you can consider regular Shinnok a boss at all. He's just a regular character. So, chances for another one, I'm not too sure. Already now, I think they kind of exiled Goro to begin with because he was like a pre-order bonus. I think they kind of just wanted this game to be focused on actual playable fighters that weren't like OP, because the game is really technical. It's meant to be competitive, and if you go back and play like Mortal Kombat Armageddon, if you see the streams that I stream sometimes on Tuesdays and Thursdays, twitch.tv/Dynasty1031, yeah, so the characters back in Armageddon, the boss characters anyway, were so overpowered. Like 2-hit combos would be like 20%. I'm talking about Kentaro, Motaro, Shao Kahn. I'm not too sure about Shiva. I know Moloch was up there. Yeah, Motaro was missing 2 legs, so he's up there as well. So, yeah, a lot of those characters are so OP. I don't know if they want to bring that back into Mortal Kombat X. I mean, they did it just right with Goro. But even then, Goro's kind of like that outcasted character because he doesn't really have a role in the campaign, hence why he was a pre-order bonus. But, I don't know. I just can't see another boss being thrown into this game. It's not going to be like an OP crazy boss. If it's going to be like Shao Kahn or something like that, it wouldn't make sense. But I guess if they do tone it down and make it work like they did with Goro, where he can fight technical, where you can see him like at an ESL tournament, then yes, it would be pretty cool to see. But do I think it's gonna happen? Probably not, man. Chances are probably really slim. Anyways, Michael, great question, and on to the next. The Thitty is asking, Dynasty, is the next game Mortal Kombat 11 in 2019 or Injustice 2 in 2017? I do think this is literally the time frame for what's to come, so with that said, I think Injustice 2 will be the next game in 2017. We'll probably see some type of debut trailer at this upcoming E3, you know, next year in June, and that's really exciting because there's gonna be like a whole year dedicated to Injustice 2 hype, and I'm super excited to actually cover that. So bam, to answer the question, I think the next game will be Injustice 2 in 2017, MK11 in 2019. God, I don't want to wait that long, but it appears to be the case, guys. I mean, it took us 4 years to get from MK9 to MKX. I can't see why it would be any different from MKX to MK11. Great question, Anthony, and let's move on to the next. That's a Toilet is asking, Dynasty, do you think NetherRealm should make character-based skins for the in-game characters? This is a really great question because it's something I've always wanted. I mean, just look at my PC mod showcases, guys. A couple of days ago, I showed you a classic Noob Saibot skin for Sub-Zero. Yes, obviously, it's not really Noob Saibot, but the skin does do it some justice, and the exact same thing can be said about a couple of my other PC mod showcases. For instance, I think I showed you guys a Katana mod where she had a Jade skin, and the Jade skin of the Katana variation that has Jade staff, it appears to be Jade. So there's a lot of these great PC mods that go back to this question, and it's like, hey, NetherRealm, why aren't you making character-based skins for some of these characters? I'm pretty sure the reception would be pretty good to this idea as well. I mean, obviously, we would want to have the full character, but if you can't have the full character, at least you can get somewhat of an appearance of that character. So, great question, that's the Toilet. Hopefully, they do implement this sometime soon. If they don't, well, shit, another missed opportunity. Anyways, guys, this is going to be the end of today's video. If you guys do enjoy this video, please drop a like, leave a comment, subscribe, and always remember, if you ever want to take part in this, all you got to do is tweet me using the hashtag Dynasty QnA. From there, if the question's good enough, it might get featured on a video like this. We do these like once a week, so keep it in mind. Anyways, guys, until next time, I'll see you guys later. Peace.